Hey, what's going on, yo? It's SBN here, Sports Bash Nation. Now, the Bears' biggest offseason in team history continues. Some questions have been answered. We got our offensive coordinator in Shane Waldron and a quarterback's coach in Kerry Joseph. So the picture is getting a little clearer for our offense going into 2024. I like the hire of Shane Waldron. I think we've made some promising moves. Now, there's still big questions to be answered, specifically what's going to happen with the number one pick in the draft and quarterback Justin Fields. Going to keep the number one pick and draft Caleb Williams and ship out Justin Fields? Or are we going to decide that we want to keep Justin Fields, and trade back that number one pick and get another haul like last year? So I've come up with some trade scenarios before. I got 5 more kooky, crazy trade scenarios for the upcoming draft. Some involve moving back with the number one pick and getting a king's ransom, and some involve moving forward with the number 9 pick. So my first trade scenario, we make a trade with the Atlanta Falcons. We give them the number 1 overall pick, and then we get their first round pick this year, which is number 8, their second round pick this year, which is number 42, and we get their first and third round picks in 2025, second rounder in 2026, and tight end Kyle Pitts. Now, Kyle Pitts, he's a freak of nature, 6'6", 247 pounds. Was the 4th pick in the 2021 draft with the Falcons. Had an excellent rookie year, 68 catches, 1,026 yards. So he definitely killed it his first year. He busted his second year, ruined my fantasy team. I drafted him high, blew up in my face. He had 28 catches, 356 yards. Last year kind of bounced back, 53 catches, 667 yards. Only 6 touchdowns in his career. It looks like he could use a change of scenery. And I think he'd look great in a Bears uniform with a combination of Cole Kmet's and Kyle Pitts. I don't think you can have too many good players at a position. Maybe Kyle Pitts could bounce back with the Bears, and we can have between Cole Kmet and Kyle Pitts, give Justin Fields more weapons. Not only that, but we're getting a haul of draft picks. So we're getting an extra second rounder this year. We're getting first and third round picks next year and a second round pick. So if we decide to keep Justin Fields, this is definitely a trade I would consider. I would take this move. My second trade scenario, we trade back to number 7 with the Tennessee Titans. So they get the number 1 overall pick. We get their first round pick this year, number 7. We get their second rounder this year, number 38. And next year we get their first and second round picks again. And we get quarterback Will Levis. Now I know people are gonna say in the comments this is nuts. But Tennessee did fire Mike Vrabel. They got a new coach in Brian Callahan, Bill Callahan's son. So sometimes coaches come in and they decide, hey, I want a new quarterback, like what happened with Arizona. I think he'd be somebody who could push Justin Fields. He's still on a rookie contract for a few years. He showed good flashes. Somebody, like I said, that if Justin Fields doesn't end up working out for us, could be a potential replacement or something that, could be, a backup quarterback is valuable, especially we've seen this year what happened with the Browns and a lot of teams, quarterbacks going down. And if Tennessee decides that they want Caleb Williams and they want to pursue this move, obviously Will Levis is going to get shipped out in this day and age when they don't want to keep somebody who's going to be malcontent. If Tennessee moves up, obviously Will Levis is going to move on. And that would be an interesting move. I know it's crazy. I don't know how feasible it would be, but this is the NFL. Crazy things do happen. Speaking of crazy things, trade scenario number 3, we trade back with the Minnesota Vikings. So they trade up to number 1. They need a quarterback. They say, hey, we got to have Caleb Williams. What's it going to take to get that pick? I would say we get their first round pick, number 11. We get their second round pick, number 42. We get their first and second round picks in 2025 and a second rounder in 2026 and wide receiver Jordan Addison. So I know we're asking for a lot, but to move from 11 to number 1, and especially with a division rival, that's why I don't know about this trade just because it is Minnesota. I wouldn't want to make a trade with them, but this would be a big haul to get. And Jordan Addison, I would love to have Jordan Addison on the Bears. It would solve that problem of needing a number 2 wide receiver. He had a good rookie season, 70 catches, 911 yards. He's still young. That's an interesting move. It's something that would be considered if Minnesota is looking to trade up. I mean, let's say the Bears decide we're keeping that number 1 pick. We got to have Caleb Williams. In that scenario, I don't know how comfortable I would be. If we're going to draft Caleb Williams, we're going to want to get a stud receiver to pair up with him. I don't know if I'd be comfortable waiting for number 9. So in this scenario, we trade up with Arizona. So we move up to number 4. In return, we send them our number 9 pick this year and our third round pick this year, which is number 75. and the 4th round pick that we got from the Eagles this year, as well as we'd give them 1st and 3rd round picks next year. It's a big haul to pay, but in this scenario, I'm assuming that we took Caleb Williams number 1, and Drake May and Jaden Daniels go 2 and 3, whatever. In this scenario, we're moving up to number 4 to get Marvin Harrison Jr., so we'd have the combination of Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. Like I said, it's a big price to pay, but Houston paid a big price last year to move up to Arizona to get that number 3 pick. I think Houston gave them the 12th and 33rd pick last year, and Arizona also has their 1st round pick this year and Houston's 3rd round pick. So Arizona is willing to make a deal. And if we could get Marvin Harrison Jr. to pair with Caleb Williams, it's something to be considered. And then my last trade scenario, now say Arizona doesn't want to make a deal with us. At number 4, say that they take Marvin Harrison Jr. for themselves, or they take Brock Bowers. In this scenario, we move up to number 5 with the Chargers, and if Marvin Harrison Jr., the miracle that he's there, we get Marvin Harrison Jr., or if not, we take Brock Bowers or Malik Neighbors. I know people say we don't need Brock Bowers, he's a tight end, but Brock Bowers looks like he could be the next Travis Kelce. I think he's going to be a generational talent at tight end, and I think, a 2 tight end set in this day and age, I think it would work great. So I would consider Brock Bowers definitely, or Malik Neighbors. I think if we're going to draft Caleb Williams, we got to pair him with one of Marvin Harrison Jr. or Malik Neighbors. I want to stud. If we're going to go all in, let's go all in. Let's make the big moves. In this scenario, we send the Chargers our number 9 pick this year, pick number 75, our 3rd rounder this year, and then we send them 2nd and 3rd round picks next year and a 2nd rounder in 2026. Like I said, it's a hefty price to pay, but if we're going to get, something like Malik Neighbors or Bowers or even Marvin Harrison Jr., I think it's a price worth paying. We have a lot of talent. We have more draft capital. We got to make some moves. So those are the 5 scenarios I got. I know they're wild and crazy, but this is the NFL. Crazy things do happen. If the Bears can get, a mighty haul for that number 1 pick, obviously that's the move that we want to make. I would love to keep Justin Fields, trade back and get Marvin Harrison Jr. and pick up some more weapons. That number 1 pick is highly valuable. I have faith Ryan Poles is going to make the most of it. So what do you guys think? You guys down with any of these trades? What would you do? Let me know. You guys stay blessed, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.